There we go. Look at them go. Oh, look how cute. They're so pretty. There we go. Look at them riding around us. It's so cool. And it's just destroying the regular enemies. Look at them. They're gone. Let's get them all grouped up. Right in the middle here. And then, bam. Look at the magic go. Look at it go. Hello, hello, I'm Cammy G, and welcome back to our Fortnite Save the World videos. So this is going to be sort of a showcase of the new hero FLUTTER. So finally, we've done the Survive the Horde challenges to unlock her and Hotwire. We're going to show the best loadout to use, how this perk works, how to use it, all that good stuff. So yeah. Get yourself strapped in for some new content. So this is exciting times. Like, I'm so excited. It's been so long since we've had sort of new content. I think the last one I remember when I was actively playing was Cyberclops. That's how long it's been for me. So I'm so excited for this. So starting with the loadout, obviously you want FLUTTER in your main spot. So if I open up the information, you'll see that Plasma Pulse eliminations, summon a Wisp, you can have up to 8, that orbit you for 20 seconds, dealing 112 base damage. Now that base damage is kind of difficult to imagine. I wish they would scale it up because it's just hard to tell if that's good or not. But for the team perk, because this is an ability build, we're going to use the ability cooldown reduction. All it needs is 3 heroes with 2 or more stars, so that's easy enough to get. In the first support, I've just gone for Hotwire because obviously we are showcasing these, 2 new enemies in these sort of videos. So I just wanted to have him in there because she does have Going Constructor. So yeah, I've popped that in, and you'll see why we can get away with that because we only need 3 Plasma Pulse perks really. So moving on to those, we have the first one, Malfunction. So the radius of Plasma Pulse mines is increased by 40%. So that's going to make it way more likely to eliminate husks because, they get spread out quite far, but now they will damage a much larger area. Then we've got Plasma Pulse cooldown reduction by 18%. So this will then obviously combine with the 40%. It doesn't stack, but they do add on top of each other, if that makes sense. So it's not 18% added on top of 40%. It's hard to explain. It's not multiplicative, it's additive, if that makes sense. So then we have Plasma Pulse damage increased by 30%. So again, this is going to make it more likely that enemies do die from the mine because that is what we need for the Wisps to spawn. And then finally, because these are pretty much the only 3 ones you need for Plasma Pulse, it's quite a niche perk. It's not like Going Constructor where there's about 1,000 perks for it. And then we have increased hardware impact by 33 on Black Knight Garridan. Now, this is in here because the cooldown of Going Constructor is reduced by 1 second for every hardware elimination. So we're going to run a hardware in there between using our Plasma Pulse. Well, we can do it at the same time, really. And then your gadgets, that's up to you, obviously. Doesn't really matter too much for that. So yeah, we'll hop into a mission here. You've seen at the start, we're going to be in an encampments mission to really test this in, a high enemy area. Now this is only 124. I do appreciate that. I'm going to go in solo though. I felt encampments was the best mission to test it in, so we'll hop in here and yeah, see what the abilities and stuff is all about. All right, well, before we get to an encampment, let's test it on some enemies here. So let's drop this thing down. There we go. Look at them go. Oh, look how cute. They're so pretty. And then they attack enemies. So they just sort of like, I didn't realize it would be like that, I thought they would actively seek out enemies, but it's more of a protection field. So we can just walk up to enemies and, well, they're really not doing that much damage, I'll be honest. Yeah, it's not the most damage. Here's the first encampment, though. We've got our Plasma Pulse back, so we'll drop that again, get these going. So we can sort of, I don't know, it's hard to say, obviously. This is only just the very first bit of us using it. It's definitely pretty looking. I don't think they're that useful because, as I said, we are in a lower area than we need to be right now. 124, and we are power level 134. So, they deal with basic enemies all right, I suppose. And our survivability right now is very poor. We need maybe some sort of different build for this if we wanted to use it most effectively. I'm thinking maybe Blast from the Past would be good because you get a lot more health. We put Survivor Jonesy in there, but then you're using up a lot of your perks for that. But that's fine, because we can just remove the perks that we've got for going Constructor. You know, if this is a Plasma Pulse build, then I think that's fine to do that. So, you know, we could go ahead and test that out in the same video, I think. You know, we're learning from it at the moment. And at the moment, I have been pretty much just standing here, letting the enemies hit me. Obviously, I want this to be a showcase for the Plasma Pulse. Probably not the most effective way to use it at the moment. And we do have Going Constructor as another perk as well, which is honestly a very, very strong perk. Like, don't get me wrong, it is a very strong perk. So if I show you now, let's just pull it out. Oh! It shreds through enemies. And we're getting that zap as well, obviously, from Hotwire. Which isn't the worst thing in the world, you know. Obviously, if you're in a fire area, you're not going to want to use it. Because nature damage is terrible against fire. It does like 25% damage. If you've seen our Elements video, you'll know what I'm talking about. That's in the sort of Save the World Guides playlist if you want to check that out. But yeah, the default perk, if he's in your support for Hotwire, is Nature, because it is electric. You know, it makes sense, I think. What we can do here as well, though, is if we pop our Plasma Pulse down, just going to throw a turret out. Now, in general practice, obviously you're going to be playing with teammates most of the time, probably. I know not everyone does, like, don't get me wrong. I can get how annoying teammates can be. But as far as, like, effectiveness of this goes in a solo sense, it's not too bad, to be honest. Like, you know, encampments solo, I know we are just above the power level, but they can be very difficult to run with a lot of hero builds. And this one seems to be holding its own fairly well, especially with the modifiers as well. Now, we've still got a few wisps running around us here. And honestly, just for the sheer, like, novelty of it, I really like. You know, just the look of them, it's really pretty. Honestly, I'm a sucker for pretty games. Okay, Fortnite obviously has quite a basic look to it, but it is a good looking game, and the effect on the wisps is beautiful. I really do like it, because they do a lot less damage then, and at that point it's like, I mean, what's even the point? Wow, we are dying. We are really dying here. This is not good. Help! Oh! We'll just stand up here in safety. Where's the blaster? Go away. Nobody likes you. Alright, big area of enemies. Big area. Let's get going. Yeah, we definitely need some survivability in here. I think if we move away from the Going Constructor side of it, we could... Ooh, the wisps actually still damage while you're down. That's interesting to know. Or are they just making a sound? I don't know. Can we test it here? Yeah, they still... Oh my god. They still damage. That's funny. Did it reset the encampment? That's kind of annoying. Don't know why it did that. Yeah, if we just use this here, because we haven't really used Going Constructor much. It has a very long cooldown. I don't particularly like using it because of that. You know, going Commando is a lot easier to use, because you can get the cooldown down to 5 seconds, which is insane for a very powerful perk. Let's get another Plasma Pulse down. But yeah, I think she needs some sort of healing. Now, as I said before, this is a solo mission that I'm running, and in general, you're probably going to be running with teammates, so there is a difference there. Obviously, I can just showcase what I can show, and then it's up to you to adjust the build and so on for it. Now, we are very close to death once again. I'm thinking maybe we just activate Going Constructor here and just blast our way in. Like, this is ridiculous. Going Constructor is so powerful, and it is a fun perk to use. So once we're in here, we can just activate our Plasma Pulse, and there we go. Look at him riding around us. It's so cool, and it's just destroying the regular enemies. Look at them, they're gone. They are gone. It's such a cool active, just sort of not active but passive ability that just deals with the regular enemies so nicely. And then our cooldown's back for Plasma Pulse. We activate it again, we get our wisps back, and we repeat the cycle. It's so cool. It's so cool. I really do like it. It's so nice to have something new as well, as I said. Like, it's just... I'm a sucker for it. I am. Like, they deprive us of content for so long that when we do get some new content, we'd eat it up. I eat it up. Like, it's, you know, it's the best thing ever when it happens. Now, obviously, encampments isn't the only scenario you're going to use this for. So this build we're showing right now, with the, you know, the impact and the going constructor side of it, this can be used in regular defense missions. Like, I definitely think that's powerful there. Mainly because if you're building trap tunnels as well, you know, you've got your base. Obviously, you're a constructor, you've got your base as well. You can lob the base down on the objective, you can get it on a trap tunnel, and then when you're in the middle of a trap tunnel, you just lob this down as the enemies are coming through, and it destroys them, you know? It's great. Like, there's way more opportunity than just encampments mission. You know, this is just a way to test how well it does in swarms of enemies, because you can get swarmed in regular missions. And if we can just hold off here, we can place it down again, see how much it can do against the big boy enemies. So, you know, it is less effective against the Husky Husk. Well, I didn't even kill a single one of them. Not sure what that guy died to. What about the wisps? Can they do decent damage to them? I mean, not too bad, I suppose. If you're enjoying the video so far, thank you so much for watching, and I'd like to take this opportunity to thank our members. Thank you so much to the current members we have, and just wanted to go over the tiers to anyone else that might be interested. So we have 5 tiers from Stonewood, Plankton, Canny, Twine, all the way up to Epic Founder, and as you can see on screen, we have these amazing benefits at each tier, getting more and more as you go up. So yeah, if anyone's interested, just look for the join button next to the subscribe button, and thank you so much for your time. Cheers, enjoy the rest of the video. So as I said, it might be useful to do a blast from the past build on this. A bit more survivability, especially for encampments. You know, it's going to be a lot better for that. So what we've got here is, as I said, blast from the past. So this removes your shield and increases max health by 200%. So increasing by 100% would double your health. So this is tripling your health. And then for the 2 perks to activate that, we've got while shield is depleted, increase armor by 33. So obviously our shield is always going to be depleted. So our armor is going to be increased by 33. We're going to be taking less damage, more survivable, but then adds 3% of current health to melee damage. So, you know, we're going to be using hardware in this build. We don't have any specific additions to hardware just because of the other perks we're using, but that's going to really help with getting up close and personal in their faces. And it's the best option there is of the blast from the past to go with it. Then we still got the Plasma Pulse cooldown and the Plasma Pulse damage, and then at the bottom we've got Survivalist. So every elimination is going to heal us, and that means, yeah, we're going to be a lot harder to kill. So let's go ahead and hop in that same mission with this and see how well we can do. So as you can see, we have over 1 million health, and we've actually got a storm chest here, which will be a good sort of display of the ability here. So let's go ahead and lob that down, because this is quite similar to an encampment. You know, you get plenty of enemies coming in. Let's lob down that Plasma Pulse and see what's going on. So those Husklings obviously easily dying to our Plasma Pulse. And yeah, the only issue now is obviously we don't have reduced ability cooldowns. So it is going to take a much longer time for it to come back. But we are going to be a lot harder to kill, which is obviously going to be helpful. And with Kinetic Overdrive being a constructor perk, doing this hardware damage is going to really help. It would be nice to have Plasma Pulse more often. So, you know, it's obviously up to you guys how you want to go about this. You don't have to use Blast from the Past. What you could do is just use the first build we had and add Survivalist Jonesy in there. You know, that will then increase your survivability by a decent amount. It depends on the playstyle you want to go for. If you are going to be really in there all of the time, like we are right now, and we are doing very well, I'd say, you know, you probably want to... okay, I think we ran out of time. You probably want to run this Blast from the Past build, potentially. If you are going to be more sitting back and, you know, hopping in there every now and again, to just lob your plasma pulse down, do a bit of damage, come back out, then the first build's going to be fantastic for you. And, you know, if you have traps for survivability, you know, healing traps, wow, that just absolutely demolished that. So these wisps are going to stay for 20 seconds as well, by the way, just to cut myself off, as usual. So we can get to the next encampment, and these guys will still be going. And my god, I cannot get over how good these things look, and they've gone. They look so pretty. I love it. I want to play as her all the time just for that. And the back bling we have on this account just goes so well with her. I didn't even mean for that to line up so nicely. It suits her, doesn't it? Because she's got butterfly wings usually. I wonder if you actually can wear the butterfly wings. Do you just have to not wear a back bling, I suppose? Oh, look at them go. Look at the little... You can go away, Mr. Nasty Man. And then, yeah, try come get me. Try come get me. Nice try. I see a smasher coming in, though. I wasn't talking to him. I probably want a better ranged weapon, actually, than this SMG, because it's a bit more short range. But it doesn't really matter too much. Ah! Now, we also don't have hotwire in the build again, anymore even, sorry. So we're not going to be doing chain lightning, which kind of sucks. I do like that addition. So I think, for me, if I had to pick one of the builds, I would pick... Oh my god. Just do some manual healing there. I would pick the first build and just add Survivalist Jonesy in there somewhere, if you are struggling to survive. Again, it depends on your playstyle, it depends how you use it. You might even want to swap some stuff out for, I don't know, some useful trap builds for your... Oops, I don't want to do that. For your base, you know? If you are struggling... Well, not struggling, but if you're wanting to do trap tunnels in tandem with this, as opposed to just relying on, you know, the flutter side of things. There's plenty you can do with it. You know, that's the beauty of Save the World. There's infinite combinations, pretty much, that you can do with these perks. And that is what makes the game so beautiful, I think. As well as the traps. I obviously love the traps. That's the main thing for me. But I know a lot of other people like the sort of build combinations you can make. I am struggling to speak. I think I'm going to have a stroke. Oh my god. Okay, just the blaster is really stressing me out there. We need to get some health back. Yeah, we need to get some health back. So you don't heal too much from Survivalist Jonesy in this build just because of the level of health we had. It looks like really little that we're gaining, but it is quite a lot. And we've got Going Constructor back as well now, actually, so let's just blast this in here. Please heal us. So, I mean, even with this build, we are still dying and, you know, getting low health and stuff. So, to be honest, yeah, as I said, I think the better solution would be to just pop Survivalist Jonesy in the first build. And that is the better way to go for it, I think. We get a better ranged weapon on this, by the way. But Super Shredder. I love a good Super Shredder. But yeah, I'll probably just test this on like one or two more just on this second build. I think we've pretty much seen what we need to see, though. That I think the first one is a lot more fun, anyway, just because you're using the ability more, you know? And you can still use Hotwire's ability. Depending on... You'd have to obviously drop one of the perks out. I think the explosive range on the Plasma Pulse, you could probably drop that out. To be honest, in that first build, I think you'd be fine. The one thing I'd say is just make sure you're paying attention to where you're dropping it. You just have to be a bit more careful that you drop it in the center of the enemies. Whereas with that perk, you don't have to think as much because, you know, the explosive radius is a bit bigger. Oh my god, just get away from me, honestly. Alright. These guys. I'm gonna get this wave cleared so that I can use my plasma pulse on the waves again. Oh my god. Go away! Nobody wants you. He's stuck on the tree! No way. He's get down! Oh dear. Oh, there's a little shielder somewhere. Where is he? Oh, he's despawned now. And then one last final showcase. Let's group up the enemies. Let's get them all grouped up right in the middle here. And then, bam. Look at the magic go. Look at it go. You might even benefit from a Cyberclops on this, you know, because the Plasma Pulse does energy damage. Now, I don't think the flutters, the little wisps, do energy damage. It didn't specifically say anyway. I mean, they sort of look energy based, but yeah, it didn't specifically say energy damage, so I don't think they do. So I don't know if you'd get a benefit on the actual flutter, but I'm thinking more for the Plasma Pulse. It could help. And if you've got energy on your, you know, hardware and weapons, that probably would help. But yeah, that'll do it for the video. I think we probably showcased enough. It's really fun. I really do like it. I'm looking forward to maybe using this in ventures going forward. You know, this season, we can use her in some of those missions, in defense missions. We can sort of experiment on which different, you know, trap-based perks we want to use combined with flutter perks and that type of thing. So yeah, hopefully you did enjoy the video. Hopefully you are close to getting her yourself. Maybe you've tried it out yourself. Let me know in the comments what you think from either seeing this or playing yourself. What do you think about her? Do you think she's good? I always like a character that looks nice. So, you know, she's a very pretty looking character. So that's even more of a bonus for me to play her. But yeah, thank you so much for watching the video. Please do subscribe if you haven't already. But I will hopefully see you in a future video, maybe even the Hotwire video. So definitely put notifications on to get that as soon as it is out. So yeah, have a great day and enjoy the game if you're going to be playing today. Cheers.